But anyways, chat, let's watch this video while people are still coming in.
One of my favorite devices in music is when you hear something that you can't really figure out.
Rhythms that break your brain, but they're just 4/4.
It just reveals itself to you, and it's totally not the thing you were expecting at all. And that's exactly what I found when this song was shared to my Circle community recently. And
What?
I'm still trying to figure out
Circle
what's even
community?
going on here, but check
Isn't that just
this
Osu?
out.
Ah, yes. I was here when this song first dropped. I'm a 2
Right when
outstand.
it starts, my brain goes to like a sort of 7/4 feel, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so far, I'm like, whoa.
I don't know, man. When
But I
that part
still
hits,
think
I'm
it's a
just like,
7. And then okay. What's that little kind of snare drum backbeat thing going on? Oh, okay. Now it's here. Wow. Okay, this is a great example
yo,
of one of those
this guy's
rhythmic
sick.
things that you kind of get an idea of, like, okay, well maybe it's this, and then as it reveals itself, you realize, oh, I was very wrong. And then where it reveals itself, you're like, whoa.
Who the fuck is calling me? Where's that call coming from? Ivan?
What are you doing?
I'm streaming right now, but for some reason, the notification for this FaceTime got on my laptop instead of my fucking phone.
Oh shit, my bad.
What? Oh my god, Max, Emily, how are you guys? I haven't seen you guys in like 5 years. Are you guys good? Holy shit, we need to meet up sometime.
Yeah, we'll meet you soon.
Alright, see ya. Have fun, guys. Holy shit balls. Caryu is literally hanging out with Max, Waldo, and Emily. That's fucking crazy. Risu, what the hell is this link? How to pronounce gyro.
Euro.
Okay, no offense to this guy.
Euro.
He doesn't sound like he has the experience.
Euro.
Now, I would trust him to say mayonnaise.
Mio de noche.
What the fuck? What? How the fuck do you come to that conclusion? Anyways, back to the video.
Whoa! It's just 4/4, but where every quarter note has 5 subdivisions. It's like I guess like a grouping of 5
Polyrhythms,
like
right?
Quintuplet, I guess. But we end up with this 1 2 3 4 5 2 2 3 4 5 3 2 3 4 5 4 2 3 4 5 1. Except it's even faster.
Wait, is that actually how it works? 1 2 3 4 5 2 3 2 2 3 4 4 5 2 2 3 4 5 3 2 3 4 5 5.
This 1 2 3 4 5 2 2 3 4 5 3 2 3 4 5 4 2 3 4 5 1. Except it's even faster. But that's just where it starts getting insane. They're doing something that's even more insane with this rhythm. So we already have these groupings of 5. Sometimes we just call them 5s, right? And within that, they are subdividing into groups of 3 in some places, and then also groups of 5. Whew.
It makes no
All right,
fucking
I'm trying
sense.
to decipher what's
But it sounds
going
cool.
on here. All right, to understand this, let's look at it on paper here. So
There's no way he vibes so much with that. Typical Riven. Do you not believe that 2L music is like some of the best music on planet Earth? It is out of this world. Legitimately. You don't listen to decaplets and like ascend in like a third person experience? Like an out of body experience listening to decaplets? I forgot you cried to decaplets. Listen, man, that song just brings out the soul, you know what I'm saying? It's different for someone who dedicates themselves to music, I'm sure. I can't tell if you're talking to me or this guy. Oh, what happened to him? I feel like you just have bad taste! Risu, link me a good song. Link me what you believe is a good song. I'm waiting. Alright, here we go. Risu says I have terrible taste. Let's see what Risu's taste is like. That's pretty bass. I'm not gonna lie. That's a banger song. You kind of got me there. Anyways,
So if we take a 4/4 measure, we have 4 quarter notes. And as we've said, we're taking each one of those quarter notes and we're dividing it into a group of 5. We're giving 5 subdivisions.
no fucking way. Is this music theory? Chat, this could be the thing that finally allows my brain to ascend to the 5th dimension. Pay attention.
Divisions to each beat. Well, into a group of 5. We're giving 5 subdivisions to each beat. Well, once you have this palette of 20 of these subdivisions to work with throughout an entire measure, you can start dividing them in all kinds of fascinating ways. And it sounds to me like the first 2 melody notes are groups of 4, followed by groups of 3. Ba, 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 ba. 4 times 3 is 12. That's it. That's 100% it. So let's think about this. Let's do some math. Because we know we have 20 subdivisions to work with. So if the first 2 are groups of 4, well, that's 8. And then we have bum, 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 ba, ba. And that's right before the next downbeat. So that's 4 groupings of 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 8 is 20. So with a little bit of math, we can find out exactly what is going on rhythmically here and how we can take something as simple as a bar of 4/4 and turn it into something that's absolutely insane. Wow. When I first heard this recording, it
Holy
reminded me
shit.
of a song that got really popular when I was in college. It's by a band called Brotherly, and the song is called System, and it sounds like this.
What the fuck?
Incredible groove, right? And it sounds like, oh, this is just gonna be like a straightforward thing until... Hold on,
fuck?
wait a second. My
What's
brain
going
just
on?
broke. And that's exactly what I was feeling when I heard this for the first time. I could not figure out, I thought I had it figured out, and then all of a sudden something was introduced that made me go, wait a second, that's not right at all. What's happening here?
What?
All right, well now all of a sudden it sounds like... Sounds like it's here now, right?
Yo, someone send this song to Devious Panda, dude. Like this song is right up his alley. Like,
But wait a second. We can also still force the original feel that we had in the beginning. Oh, so here's the thing with this, and this is what's amazing about all of this stuff, right? Because you'll remember maybe a couple years ago, maybe you don't remember, you should go check out this video a couple of years ago. How many years ago now? I don't even know. We did a video all about Tigran Hamasyan and some of the insane rhythms and time signatures and polyrhythms that he uses in his music. And my whole point with that video was that so many of his insane time signatures are simply just 4/4, but a lot of people said, well, maybe that's true, but it actually can be helpful to think of them in some more wacky ways because it helps kind of keep track of where everything is, and I totally get that. But one of the beautiful things about this type of music and these crazy rhythms is that there is no one size fits all, because let me tell you, here's how I hear this. Obviously I hear this. 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that works, right? But at the same time, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can hear both
What
of
the
these
fuck?
meters on top of each other. And later in the song, we can actually hear this emphasized. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very clearly 1, 2, 3 here, right? Right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We feel that very powerfully. Except now we've obviously moved back into this 4/4 feel.
oh, I get it.
Oh man. man, this is absolutely unbelievable. Now, ever since this song was shown to me, I've always felt like it was 4/4 and 3/4 at the same time. And it's almost like one of those, like, is the dancer spinning clockwise or counterclockwise things. Like, you can kind of imagine both meters.
Is that supposed to be a puzzle? It's obviously spinning this way. Clockwise.
Clockwise things. Like, you can kind of imagine both meters at
The fuck?
any point in the song, and you can make it work, because in some ways it kind of is those two feels stacked on top of each other. However, there is a brilliant video put out by the song's composer, Robin Malarkey, actually talking about his breakdown of how this song works. And when I saw this for the first time, I was fascinated, because I was immediately like, oh, I didn't have that right at all.
So, this is the A section of the song. It's in 6/4.
6/4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
When he said this and he starts counting, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like this absolutely was not at all how I was hearing this song the whole time. And so my first thought was like, okay, well, I mean, you know, he's the composer, so what do I know? I'm obviously wrong. But then he said something very interesting.
And that's where I feel the beat. I know some people don't. That's fine.
Okay.
Duh.
Some people feel it more on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so he's pointing out here that some people don't feel it that way, and that's fine, and that some people feel it the way, and he starts counting exactly the way that I've always heard it. That's a really interesting thing to hear from the song's actual composer.
And actually, my perception of where the 1 is kind of changes throughout the song anyway. So it's
What a fascinating thing to say. His perception of the song changes throughout anyways. So
This guy just doesn't give a fuck. This composer, dude, he's like, I'm just going to make the music. That sounds cool to me. However you interpret it, that's cool. I don't really give a shit. But I'm going to make the music my way, and you're going to listen to it your way, and that's cool. That's fucking dope. What the fuck?
So he's literally saying, like, it kind of just doesn't matter. Like, whatever works for you, you can kind of feel it any way that you want to. And I think that's one of the most fascinating things about these types of rhythms, is that you can come across people who have drastically different opinions on how things should be counted or felt. And in the search for musical definitions and assigning theory to everything, we have a tendency to want to find the right answer. But maybe this is the perfect example of where there isn't necessarily a right answer, and it doesn't matter anyway. But circling back to one of my favorite pianists, Tigran Hamasyan, digging
What
into
the
music
fuck?
like this has taught me different ways to keep track of some of these insane rhythms. And there are few examples that I think better encapsulate this than his composition, The Grid. When you first hear this, you're like, what? If we count to 4 or count to 8, we can actually make something line up in this crazy line that Tigran is playing here. We're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to figure out how this thing might actually be notated. And we're starting to discover clues as to why this might actually just be in 4/4. And so when we force ourselves to kind of overlay that 4/4 on top of this seemingly insane groove, we discover what's actually happening, and then it gives us an ability to go, well, wait a second, let's pair that against what the bass drum is doing, and all of a sudden, we can come up with a way to think of this thing that is so easy to hear. Check it out. We're going back to that figure. Right? But when we lay that over a 4/4 groove, let's take this here, and then we're gonna play that underneath it. That's it. And when we learn how to feel
I don't get it.
the sort of back and forth of these two things, we learn some pretty interesting things. I saw an insanely hilarious reel.
7/9 polyrhythm. It goes like this. This aggressive child isn't a threat to anybody. This aggressive child isn't a threat to anybody. This aggressive child isn't a threat to anybody.
What the
A
fuck?
7/9 polyrhythm. That is just absolutely hilarious. But what it actually can teach us is that we can come up with all kinds of ways to hear this bizarre rhythmic figure over a time signature that actually makes a lot of sense. In this case, we have 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, so we can look at every part of that and figure out where the drop 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1 E into 2 E into 3 E into 4 E into 1.
This guy should rap.
I don't have enough breath for all of that, but that is how it would be broken up. And if you can memorize that feel, you will never lose your place because you'll be able to hear the it sounds crazy, it sounds convoluted, but these are the ways that you can decipher and memorize super complex rhythmic figures. And especially when we have things like this and things like system and things like the earth, we have to come up with ways to be able to think of how they actually are laid out so that we can keep hearing the overarching rhythm, whether that's 4/4 or whether it's 6/4, it doesn't really matter. We need to come up with these ways to keep track of it. And sometimes it's as simple as just memorizing whatever works best for you, kind of like Robin Malarkey's saying here, whatever works best for you to figure out how you feel that is totally fine. But as soon as you start coming up with those different ways that make sense to you, you'll realize that these rhythms are not as complex as you
I just had an epiphany.
Well, maybe they're actually very complex. You've just come up with ways to make sense of them. And once you make sense of them, you unlock the groove. Because now you don't hear it as some awkward thing that nobody could dance to or tap a foot to. You hear it how it's laid out inside of something that you can tap a foot to. And that's what makes it that much more fun to listen to. This recommendation came from my Circle community. And if you want to get access to the Circle community as well, it's included with any of my courses, which you can find out more about at the link
Can I join the Circle community and send them to caplets?
in the description down below. That's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions on this in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Infiltrate Osu? No. Oh man, I'm glad that this guy enjoys the Earth in a similar way that I do, because I think the Earth is a banger. I'm a 2L stan. I love 2L. Why is he watching the rhythms that break his brain clip and it will help him get 1.2 KPP? Actually, yes, because Osu is a rhythm game and understanding rhythms is very important. In fact, a lot of the reasons why I choke 1.1, 1.2K is because I lose rhythm. And so, in theory, this does help me. Have you heard the full version of Softland Chan? Who? I don't get it. Bro's looking at it like he understands all that. I don't. However, I will say there's one big takeaway from this video that I think was actually huge. Check this out.
Not as complex as you may have thought. Well, maybe they're actually very complex. You've just come up with ways to make sense of them. And once you make sense of them, you unlock the groove. Because now you don't hear it as some awkward thing that nobody could dance to or tap a foot to. You hear it how it's laid out inside of something that you can tap a foot to. And that's what makes it that much more fun to listen to.
That's huge. That's fucking huge. What this means is that music theory doesn't matter. As long as you can come up with your own way to understand and keep track of the rhythm, music theory is useless. Fuck. That means I'm just bad.